Oh man, this is awesome, man. The reception on this series has been going great. Over 3,000 likes. What are the top comments saying? China didn't ruin career mode. EA did. Good one, Theo. China #1. You goddamn right, Dragon Keith. B-Monus always knows how to give me goosebumps. I don't know how I feel about this, but like. BMO, China's national team isn't in FIFA 19. What? Oh god. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no, please. Please no. Please no. Australia and India? Where the f is China?
Snorlax, did you know about this? Then why did you say anything?
Why? 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 So welcome back everyone to the China ruined everything career mode. This is going to be a very sobering episode. If you've been following me on Twitter, you may have already found out that EA have removed China from career mode. Why EA? Why the racism? The only two Asian national teams that are left in career mode are India and Australia. Which means half of the Asian national teams in FIFA this year are white. Now, before you guys leave a big fat RIP or L in the comment section about this series being over, it's not. We're not gonna let EA win. Just because China isn't officially in FIFA 19 career mode doesn't necessarily mean that we cannot continue on with this career mode because of two things. One, I've spoken with the mod master, Lewis himself. He's the man who helps me out on a lot of the FIFA experiments, and he is a FIFA cheat engine whiz. And he has told me that by the end of February, which is right around the corner, a new mod will come out in which we can turn one of these Asian teams, either Australia or India, probably India, sorry India, into China, modify their kits, and all that whatnot. And so we should be fine. We just don't know for sure when exactly it's coming. So it might come at the end of February. It might come a couple months down the road. So I'm sorry, Snorlax. I'm sorry. I was emotional. And even if that mod doesn't come to fruition, we have an alternative in which, I mean, it's not ideal, but we can go back to FIFA 18 and recreate all of the players painstakingly that we get in this career mode. However, the cheat engine was available on FIFA 18 as well, so I could just go back in, play career mode up until the World Cup portion, and then when I get into the World Cup tournament, turn all of our Chinese players into the Chinese players that we have in this FIFA 19 save. It could be a big pain in the ass. It's going to take hours to recreate all the players, but this series is worth it to me. And yes, the gameplay is going to be different, but let's be honest guys, not that much different. And the graphics are exactly the same. So was China over in FIFA 19? Hell no! If you are staying China strong with me, go ahead, smush your doubles to the like button right now. And show EA that they cannot silence the People's Republic. How dare you? Where do you get off? Huh? It's been one of the worst days of my life. And to add on to this, after I found out that China was wiped from FIFA 19, I got my test results back for sleep apnea. Tested positive. It's not even a joke. I blame the apnea on my fatness. But despite all this, despite all the stress, I want to give a personal, heartfelt thank you. Thank you guys so much for the tremendous response on the first video. 55,000 views in a couple of days for a series on China. 3,000 likes. And when I asked you guys at the end to go ahead and support me on Twitch, over 400 follows and over 53 subscriptions. You guys are mad. 53 subscriptions in one day. People were subscribing even after the stream was done. And I know originally I said that the first 11 were going to be the ones to go ahead and nickname players, but the support has been so huge. I'm going to make it so that the first 22 people who subscribe are going to be naming players, and then hopefully as we get more and more youth players in, I'll just go down the list of people who sub. It means so much to me bringing back this series. And EA's not making it easy, but I know you guys are here to support me, and you know, that means the world to me. And speaking of the lovely people in the Fat Asian Nation, let's go over a couple of the top comments that we had on episode 1. This is a pretty common comment. Gamer Benny goes ahead and says, you should only make players who don't have a cap already Chinese because it's more realistic. And then he also says, edit, you should also be allowed to make players like Davies Chinese because he comes from a small footballing nation, so it won't affect the international stage much. Now what's interesting is that your first point and your second point kind of contradict yourself. I'm not trying to call you out here, But if we are only able to go ahead and bring people in who have never been capped at the senior level, in official tournaments, which is official FIFA rules, under realistic rules, Alphonso Davies is already capped for Canada. He competed in the Gold Cup, which is a FIFA recognized international tournament, which means that he is locked into Canada. Then we're going to severely limit the amount of players that we can go ahead and bring in, and then it just might as well be a 100% youth scout career mode, and I honestly don't want that. And here's the thing, a reminder that the title of the series is not China Realistic Career Mode, it's China Ruins Everything Career Mode. So let's f*** up FIFA, let's f*** up EA, let's f*** up your mom. Nah, your mom's nice. I'm sorry, Mrs. Stevens. This is gonna be crazy for the one dude who watches this whose last name actually is Stevens. And if you don't think that if China greased enough palms in corrupt-ass FIFA, that they couldn't get a couple of things done? We ain't talking about no broke boys like Spain going ahead and getting like a Diego Costa here. This is fucking China. The strongest GDP in the world. Do you think China gives a about FIFA rules? No. We'll rewrite the rules just like we rewrote history. Do you know in China there's a museum that claims that China is the birthplace of football. But at this museum, this story is corroborated by a signed plaque by who? Ex-FIFA head, Sepp Blatter. If we want to get Alphonso Davies, bro, we're going to get Alphonso Davies. But I do agree with your second point that I don't want to be poaching a lot of the best talent from, traditional powerhouses like England, France, Germany. So that's just my opinion. This comment got 19 likes, but then a very similar comment from Jake Allen also got 121 likes. So there is a lot of you guys out there that do want me to play this a little bit more realistic. So I'm going to go ahead, leave it up in the eye thing is right here. Do we want to be strict about it, more realistic about it, and only go after players who have not been capped yet completely? Another great comment that I saw was from Muhammad over here, and he says you should use the CSL rule where your goalkeeper has to be Chinese. And I totally forgot about this from way back 2 years ago. We enacted this in the old China career mode because this is an actual rule that takes place in the Chinese Super League. You can see it here in an article on Squawka, and it says, explained, why are there no foreign goalkeepers in the Chinese Super League? And pretty much, long story short, it's for player development. Essentially, China didn't have a lot of great keepers, so they wanted to keep the spots in their domestic league guaranteed for Chinese goalkeepers to develop. And we're already kind of doing that with basically all of our players on our teams. We're only going to have 3 foreign players at a time, except for the Chinese Super League players. And then I think as well, once we get to the Premier League, it's going to be a hard limit of 3. So we're probably going to have to say goodbye to the Paulinhos and Hulks and Taliscas of the world once we get up to the Prem, unless we choose to nationalize one of them. And yes, we will be enacting the Chinese goalkeeper rule, in which the keeper always has to be Chinese. Actually, in this article, it goes ahead and cites our keeper, Zheng Chen of Guangzhou Evergrande. But his potential isn't all that high, and, if you played any amount of career mode with you players, you know that it's quite easy to go ahead and find some good goalkeepers. Speaking of scouts, in the last episode, I revealed to you 5 of China's top scouts throughout world history. That, of course, was Cao Cao, aka Zhao Zhao, Confucius, Jackie Chan, the panda from Kung Fu Panda, and, of course, Civil War General Robert E. Lee. And I had you guys go ahead and vote on which ones you thought were the best, and the top 3 choices were, in number 1, in a landslide with 4,800 votes, it is the panda from Kung Fu Panda, aka Po, in first place. Second place is action movie superstar Jackie Chan. And third place, a little bit of surprise, it is Civil War veteran Robert E. Lee, a gentleman of the antebellum South. And the irony is not lost upon me that we are essentially employing Robert E. Lee in slavery, as none of these scouts will be paid anything. We'll pay the panda in dumplings. And of course, we're gonna go ahead and send them over to China. But I do have a bit of a question for you guys here, and that is, should we be sending all 3 of our scouts to China? Because if we're talking about poaching talent, and I explained in the last episode, we have been injecting billions and billions of dollars building out the infrastructure in Africa, especially in Nigeria. Would it make sense to go ahead and open up a scouting facility in Nigeria? That way we get the players before obviously they're ever capped, and then through the cheat engine, we can just go ahead and change their nationality from Nigerian to Chinese. That, and it is super up, but kind of hilarious that we would be sending Robert E. Lee to Africa to recruit. It's up. It's really up. It's a joke. Nobody put me out of context on this one. But it is kind of hilarious that you guys voted for Robert E. Lee to be one of our scouts, and we possibly could have him scout out talent in Africa. Hey man, it's not racist. China never had no African slaves. Actually, I don't know that. So with that said, I'm gonna have you guys go ahead and decide and shape where this career mode goes. Should we send one of our scouts, specifically Robert E. Lee, to Africa to go ahead and scout in a completely platonic, non-racist way, because we're paying these kids for a better life, and a little bit ironic that actually Robert E. Lee is the slave in this one. So, not racist. I think for now, we're just going to send Robert E. Lee over to China and just have him scout there for the first 3 months. And if you guys approve of the Nigeria deal, then we'll go ahead and shift him over after those 3 months are done. And as for our financial budget to go ahead and bring in some of the best young players in the world, as well as all of the Chinese Super League players that we wish, we ain't gonna do no broke boy shit. Financial takeover for the peasants. This is China, baby. 300 million. You gotta remember, this is what China does to go ahead and entice all these talents to come over to China. For a time, Carlos Tevez was the highest paid footballer in the world. I'm rich, God! Now, for a lot of these players, we effectively had to pay double, and that is exactly the rule that we're gonna act in this career mode. For every single player that we go ahead and go after, we'll be offering double of their value. So let's go over to my short list and bring on the top 3 names, the men who are on the thumbnail of this goddamn career mode: Paulinho, Talisca, and Hulk. As you can see right here, he is worth 32.5 million. We're going to bump that up to 65 million. Next up, Anderson Talisca is worth 29.5 million. We are going to offer 59 million. And an aging 31-year-old Hulk is worth 13.5 million. We're going to offer 27 million. Now, there are a couple more names here from the Chinese Super League that we can go ahead and bring in, but I think for now we should put Carrasco, Oscar, Pato, and Bakambu on the back burner. The main reason for this is I don't really want to overload the squad even in these beginning years with too much foreign talent. We are primarily trying to develop Chinese players here, and a big thing to note is Hulk and Paulinho are getting up there in age. Hulk is probably rapidly going to grade by the end of the season. Paulinho is not going to get any better. With the likes of Carrasco being 24, Oscar being 26, Bakambu being 27, we can go ahead and rotate in some CSL stars as the series goes on. Keep things fresh, you know? Variety's the spice of life. Or do you think I should just go buck wild and bring in these other 4 names? Go ahead, vote up on the things, and then these other names on the list, we'll go ahead and go over them after you guys have voted on whether we should be more realistic or a little bit more lax on the nationality rule. And what's interesting is, where should we be playing the likes of Hulk, Talisca, and Paulinho? Because, I mean, we can just go to their default positions, play Hulk on the right wing, put Talisca at cam, and Paulinho at the center mid. Here's the thing, Paulinho wears the number 9 at Guangzhou Evergrande, and he's probably their best striker. You take a look at his stats, he's got fantastic heading accuracy at 85 and 81 finishing. Sprint speed's not the best, but great stamina and good strength and 90 jumping. In Anderson Talisca, we get a developing young Brazilian talent, as you can see right here. Light greens in a lot of the physical stats. Then when you go over to the skill attributes, a fantastic free kick taker. And he's got really good ball control, dribbling, as well as pretty good long shots and decent short pass. Stands at 6'3", he's only 24 years of age, and is 4-star. I think it's completely fine that we put him at the cam position. I think Cole should probably stay on the right mid. He's not as fast as he used to be, but he's still a beast, man. Like 86 stamina, 92 strength, only 80 sprint speed, but he's got pretty good reactions and acceleration. And he's got pretty good dribbling, finishing, and excellent long shots at 90 and 94 shot power. He is going to be cutting in on that left foot and just absolutely blasting it. And now we're heading into the match highlights portion of this episode. I'm doing a post-com. I haven't done a post-com in like 2 years, but this is what China's all about right here. As you can see over on the wing, he's open. He's gonna cross into the stands. That is the quality of player that I have on my team, and this is the quality of player that I'm going up against. Look at this! Between 2 defenders. Wow. Inch perfect cross, and we're going up against like scrubs, man. This is like the tournament for the scrubbiest of the scrubbiest in League 2, and we succumb to that, but we bounce back. Look at this! Zhang Zi, the actual captain of Guangzhou Evergrande, who's got like 32 stamina, but man, look at this peach of a goal. One touch, clinical, slicing it across the keeper, no dice, and then we come back, and on the other side, good little overlap, across the back post. No one's marking new boy Anderson Talisca, new boy / old boy Anderson Talisca, and he's gonna go over here, and you're gonna see Oh, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. One. But could we hold on to a precarious 1-goal lead? Swinging in this corner here to the near post off of the crossbar. Oh, nipple hair are asunder right now. But in injury time, we're going to cut inside. Body feint. Ooh, smooth. Silky. Made in China. Paulinho also scoring in his debut. And we cruise into the knockout stages of this crappy tournament. Let's be honest here. Our first opponent is going to be Molde. I believe this is the team that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came from, as well as it was the one that he was managing. And I would say that the quality of opponent in this one was far superior than the players that we played in the first match here. But beautiful cross. He's wide open, and what happened? Paulinho, you got the highest heading on the team. How did you completely miss the target? I guess maybe the defender went inside his butthole and put him a little bit off. But still, we had some amazing chances in this match. Beautiful dummy layoff. Great strength to hold off the defender. And I think this is the first goal. No, our second goal from China, because Zhang Zi scored in the first one as well. But instant response. A couple of minutes later in game time, beautiful over-the-top take. And you can't do anything about that, bro. You can't do anything about that. Outside the box, left-footed pinger. Man. Beautiful over-the-top ball, looking like vintage Manchester United right here. And then not even the China #1 could keep that one out. And we try to respond once again. This has been working like bread and butter to the back post. Hulk this time, not too far away. And this would set up a theme of the second half, which was brilliant chances. Acres of space. We're just going to cross it to the back post. And that one hurt my dick, bro. That one hurt. And then another brilliant chance from Hulk, who's miles ahead. But look at the FIFA 19 catch-up mechanics. Hulk is caught from behind. And once again, more space. I'm just going for the cheese here to Paulinho. What a save! Directly at the keeper. 3 brilliant chances, and we couldn't convert. And there was even more. And when you don't convert your chances, and in these preseason tournaments, it comes down to pens. And we lose. Just like that. When you don't put your chances away, when you aren't clinical, you can get knocked out. And that was it. And just like that, boys, we are out of the preseason tournament. Super sad, but at least the difficulty is pretty good, right? Yeah, it'll be competitive. Anyway, we have to vote on the MVP, and I think the 3 contenders are the 3 goal scorers: Zhang Zi, Paulinho, and Talisca. And alright guys, go ahead and vote up in the iThingies for the MVP of this episode. And remember that the MVP of every single episode is going to go ahead and get a perk, which can be like +5 in a stat. They could get a trait or whatnot. In order to decide what type of perk that we're going to go ahead and give them, I'm going to be doing all of that live over on Twitch. Unfortunately, when you're watching this, which is probably either going to be Saturday or Sunday, I'm not going to be live on Twitch this weekend, as I'm going to be down in LA visiting my girlfriend. This is technically our late Valentine's Day weekend. So everyone in the comment section, wish Mrs. Monis a happy Valentine's Day. But after this weekend, I'm going to be banging out pretty much every single weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We're going to do China Career Mode, and it's going to be great. It's going to be the best. So go ahead and follow me on Twitch over here. And if you want to go ahead and follow me and our late Valentine's Day escapades, follow me on Instagram at @bmonis. And of course, a special thank you to all of these lovely people, all 50 freaking 3 of you guys who followed me in one day on Twitch. Thank you guys so freaking much, man. As I said, the first 22 are going to be able to nickname people. And for the people past the first 22, a reminder that each one of you guys is going to be able to customize a certain aspect of our youth players, so have no fear. And of course, this offer extends to anyone new who wants to go ahead and subscribe to me over on the Twitch page. And I'm going to go ahead and work out a system where if you subscribe to like a tier 2 or even a tier 3, you're going to get even more perks and customization on this channel. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for the second episode. I need to get a couple of votes in before I can really push forward. If you are somehow watching this and you didn't watch episode 1, well, go ahead, click over here. And if you want to check out my latest experiment, it is an all-time Liverpool squad versus an all-time Manchester United squad. Go ahead and click down here and dig some views. Remember, stay yourself, stay humble, and until next time, guys, joy game.